Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. So this video is part 8 of the MCQ series of all sciences, biology, chemistry, and physics. So again, if you have not watched the previous parts, I highly suggest you do so before watching this one. And once again, if you're enjoying this type of content, don't forget to like the video and share it with your family, friends, classmates. This way, I will be encouraged to post similar content and share it with you guys. So, along with that, this video, like the previous few, will also include Hindi translations so that a few of the viewers can understand the content a little bit better. So, without further ado, let's get on with the video. The first one is the danger signals installed at the top of tall buildings are red in color. These can be easily seen from a distance because among all other colors, the red light is it A, scattering the most by smog or fog, B, scattering the least by smog or fog, C, is absorbed the most by smog or fog, or D, moves fastest in air. So red light on top of tall buildings is used because B is scattering the least by smog or fog. When light enters the atmosphere, it is scattered by small particles. Scattering of light is inversely proportional to the fourth power of its wavelength. Red light has the highest wavelength among all colors in visible light. Therefore, it is scattered the least. The next question. Which of the following phenomenon contributes significantly to the reddish appearance of the sun at sunrise or sunset? So you might have noticed that at sunrise or sunset, there is a reddish appearance. So is that because A, dispersion of light, B, scattering of light, C, total internal reflection of light, or D, reflection of light from the earth? So the reddish appearance of the sun at sunrise or sunset is due to B, scattering of light. Within visible range of light, the light scatters the least by atmosphere gas molecules. At sunset or sunrise, sunlight travels a long path, which is why the blue light is removed, leaving red light to be visible. The next question. Bifocal lens is used in, is it A, myopia, B, liver, C, cataract, or D, presbyopia? So bifocal lens, if you're not familiar, are eyeglasses with two distinct optical powers. So the correct answer is D. So bifocal lens is used in presbyopia because bifocal lenses are used for both far-sighted and nearsighted. So therefore, presbyopia is for farsightedness. Moving on to the next question. Stars appear to be twinkling because of which of the following? Is it A, atmospheric refraction, B, reflection, C, Tyndall effect, or D, spectrum? So stars appearing to be twinkling is because of A, atmospheric refraction. Atmospheric refraction occurs in a medium of gradual changing reflective index. Since atmosphere blends starlight toward normal, apparent position of star is different from actual position, which is why it gives the twinkling effect. So remember, the next time you see stars to be twinkling, it is because of atmospheric refraction. The next question. The enzyme responsible for digestion of protein in the small intestine is it A, pepsin, B, trypsin, C, amylase, or D, lipase? So which of the following is an enzyme that is responsible for the digestion of protein in small intestine? And the correct answer here is B, trypsin. Trypsin is also referred as proteolytic enzyme or proteinase. Trypsin is produced by the pancreas and secreted in the duodenum via pancreatic duct. Next question. The extracellular fluid released from the capillaries is it A, serum, B, plasma, C, lymph, or D, mucus? So the extracellular fluid released from the capillaries is C, lymph. So remember, lymph is a clear to white liquid that is made out of white blood cells and lymphocytes, which eliminates bacteria in blood and drains excess fluid from extracellular space back into the blood. The next question. In which part of the alimentary canal food is finally digested? Is it A, stomach, B, mouth cavity, C, large intestine, or D, small intestine? So in which part of the alimentary canal is food finally digested? And the right answer here is D, small intestine. The alimentary canal is a muscular tube which extends from the mouth to the anus. Small intestine has all the enzymes needed for digestion of every type of food, which is why all the food is finally digested in the small intestine. So the next question. Which is the first enzyme to mix with food in the digestive tract? Is it A, pepsin, B, cellulose, C, amylase, or D, trypsin? So which of these enzymes is first to come in contact with the food? So the right answer here is C, amylase. Amylase is found in the saliva, and its function is to break down food starches into maltose, which is a disaccharide. So digestion of carbohydrate begins in the mouth itself. Next question. Choose the correct path of urine in our body. Is it A, starting from kidney to ureter to urethra and finally to the urinary bladder, or B, starting from kidney to urinary bladder to urethra to ureter, or C, kidney to ureters to urinary bladder to urethra, or finally D, urinary bladder to kidney to ureter and urethra? So the correct answer here is C, kidney to ureter to urinary bladder and finally urethra. Urine is formed in the kidney through filtration of blood. Urine is then passed through the ureter to bladder where it is stored, and during urination, urine passes through the urethra and out of the body. Next question. Lack of oxygen in muscles often lead to cramps among cricketers. This result is due to, is it A, conversion of pyruvates to ethanol, B, conversion of pyruvates to glucose, C, non-conversion of glucose to pyruvate, or D, conversion of pyruvate to lactic acid? So the lack of oxygen in muscles often lead to cramps among cricketer because of conversion of pyruvates to lactic acid. When muscle cells respire anaerobically, there is a partial breakdown of glucose and lactic acid. The accumulation of lactic acid causes muscle cramps. Moving on to the next question. The modern-day human species have evolved from its earliest ancestors who lived in, is it A, Asia, B, Australia, C, Africa, or D, China. So the modern day human species have evolved from which country or continent? And the right answer here is C, Africa. Humans first evolved in Africa, and much of human evolution occurred on that continent. Moving on to the next question. A zygote, which has an X chromosome inherited from father, will develop into is it A, boy, B, girl, C, X chromosome does not determine the sex of a child, or D, either boy or girl? So the right answer here is B, girl. XX chromosomal pair determines female gender, whereas XY combination determines male. An egg will always contain X chromosome, thus leaving a 50% chance the sperm carries X or Y chromosome. So in this question, there will already be an X carried from the egg, and if the X chromosome from the sperm is carried, that means that the chromosomal pair will be XX, resulting in the gender being a girl. Next question. Which of the following is a biodegradable waste? Is it A, DDT, B, aluminum can, C, plastic cow dung? So which of these options is a biodegradable waste? And the right answer here is D, cow dung. Animal dung contains hydrocarbons, which can easily be broken down into simpler organic molecules, such as methane, hydrogen, water, and oxygen. Next question. Which of the following is the best way for disposal of vegetable and fruit peels? Is it A, landfill, B, recycling, C, composting, or D, burning? So which method should we use for disposal of vegetable and fruit peels? And the right answer here is C, composting. Organic waste in landfills generate methane, which is a potent greenhouse gas. Best way for disposal of vegetable and fruit peels is compost. Benefit for compost is compost promotes higher yields of agricultural crops. Moving on to the next question. Organisms of a higher trophic level that feed on several types of organisms belong to a lower trophic level constitutes the is A, food web, B, ecological pyramid, C, ecosystem, or D, food chain. So organisms of a higher trophic levels that feed on organisms that belong at a lower trophic level is called A, food web. Food web or food cycle is the natural interconnection of food chains of what eats what in an ecological community. Next question. Which of these is a greenhouse gas? Is it A, hydrogen sulfide, B, methane, C, ozone, or D, carbon monoxide? So which of these options is a greenhouse gas? And the right answer here is B, methane. Methane is more than 25 times as potent as carbon dioxide at trapping heat in atmosphere. So the presence of methane affects the Earth's temperature, therefore contributing to climate change. Next question. Which of these organisms are the most important decomposers in an ecosystem? Is it A, algae and fungi, B, fungi and bacteria, C, algae and bacteria, or D, bacteria and virus? So which pair is the most important decomposers in our ecosystem? And the right answer here is B, fungi and bacteria. Fungi and bacteria carry out processes of decomposition, which all living organisms undergo after death. Moving on to the next question. Which of these does not belong to the biotic component? And remember, biotic component or biotic factors describe any living component that affects another organism in an ecosystem. So which option is not a biotic component? Is it A, parasites, B, fungi, C, bacteria, or D, soil? So out of these options, which is not a biotic component? So the right answer here is D, soil. Soil is a abiotic component. And other examples of abiotic factors include wind and light. And again, guys, if you're liking this content, don't forget to share it and like the video. Okay, so the next question. Posture and balance of the body is controlled by, is it A, cerebrum, B, cerebellum, C, medulla, or D, pons? So which of these options control posture and balance? And the right answer here is cerebellum. Cerebellum, in Latin, translates to little brain, which is located near the brainstem, and it is responsible for a number of functions, including motor skills, such as posture, balance, and coordination. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following is not associated with the growth of plants? Is it A, auxin, B, gibberellins, C, cytokinin, or D, abscisic acid? So which of the following is not associated with the growth of plant? And the right answer here is D, abscisic acid. Abscisic acid is extremely important for the maturation and development of seed. So the overall seed dormancy is produced by this acid. Hence, this hormone is not related to the growth of plant directly, which is why out of these options, abscisic acid is not associated with the growth of plant. Moving on to the next question. The movement of sunflower in accordance with the path of the sun is due to, is it A, phototropism, B, geotropism, C, chemotropism, or D, hydrotropism? So if you might have noticed, sunflowers move in accordance with the path of the sun, and this is because of the phenomenon known as A, phototropism. Phototropism is the orientation of plant in response to light. Sunflowers exhibit positive phototropism as the stem grows towards the light. Next question. Iodine is necessary for the synthesis of which hormone? Is it A, adrenaline, B, thyroxine, C, auxin, or D, insulin? So iodine is necessary for the synthesis of B, thyroxine. The thyroid glands use iodine from food to make thyroxine, so the main hormone acting to increase metabolic rate, regulating growth and development. Next question. Which of the following is not an involuntary action? So remember, involuntary action means the actions that take place without conscious or willingness. So is it A, vomiting, B, salivation, C, heartbeat, or D, chewing? So which of these action is not an involuntary action? And the right answer here is D. Because actions such as vomiting, salivation, and heartbeat take place without conscience or willingness, whereas chewing is a voluntary action. Next question. The substance that triggers the fall of mature leaves and fruits from plant is due to, is it A, auxin, B, gibberellin, C, abscisic acid, or D, cytokinin? So the substance that triggers the fall of mature leaves and fruits from plant is due to C. Abscisic acid. Abscisic acid, also known as ABA, is a plant hormone, generally plant growth inhibitor, induces dormancy and prevents seed from germinating, therefore causing abscission and closing of stomata. Dwarfism results due to, is it A, excess secretion of thyroxine, B, less secretion of growth hormone, C, less secretion of adrenaline, or D, excess secretion of growth hormone? So remember, dwarfism is also known as growth hormone deficiency, which is why B is the correct answer. Dwarfism results due to less secretion of growth hormone. And dwarfism is usually caused by a damage in the pituitary gland or hypothalamus. Next question. The allotrope of carbon, which is a good conductor of heat and electricity. So which of these allotropes of carbon is a good conductor of heat and electricity? Is it A, diamond, B, graphite, C, charcoal, or D, none of these? So the right answer here is B, graphite. The hormone which increases fertility in males is called, is it A, estrogen, B, testosterone, C, insulin, or D, growth hormone? So the hormone which increases fertility in males is called B, testosterone. Testosterone is the primary sex hormone and anabolic steroid in males. Next question. Detergents can be used for washing clothes in, is it A, only in hard water, B, only in soft water, C, both in soft and hard water, or D, none of the above? So detergent can be used for washing clothes in both soft and hard water. Detergent does not react with calcium and magnesium ions present in hard water to form scum. So detergent gives good amount of lather in hard and soft water. Moving on to the next question. Hydrocarbons are mainly composed of which of these? Is it A, hydrogen, carbon, and nitrogen, B, hydrogen and carbon, C, hydrogen, or D, hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon? Hydrocarbon is mainly composed by hydrogen and carbon, which you can easily identify from the name itself, hydro and carbons. Moving on to the last question. Ethanol is also known as which of the following? Is it A, formic acid, B, ethyl alcohol, C, ethane, or D, acetaldehyde? So ethanol is known as B, ethyl alcohol. Ethyl alcohol or grain alcohol is a clear, colorless liquid used in alcoholic beverages, solvents, and making other chemicals. So we've come to the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys liked this video. And as per usual, don't forget to comment down below how you guys did with the MCQ. Share it with your family, friends, and classmates and see how they fare with this MCQ. And as per usual, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon so that you are notified the next time I post. And I will see you guys tomorrow with part 9.